Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to do now was to show you how to construct your drag and drop exercise. What I'm going to do here is, this is one of the pages over in, I'm going to drag the window over here real quick. This is one of the pages from the book right here, and we're going to use this page to make the characters for our drag and drop exercise. We're going to work between Dreamweaver and Flash when we do this so that you can see how this is going to work for us. I've picked the lasso tool over here, the magnetic lasso, and what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to select these characters. And the reason I picked this one was it was pretty easy because we were able to go in and select the characters. The background's white, so we're going to have really good and easy selection. I have my pixel width is 10 pixels, my edge contrast is at 10%, my frequency is 57, so it's how many points are added. Now I can add more or take more away, so that's pretty much up to you. And then our edge contrast is the contrast between the borders. You know, what is the color contrast? We can increase that or we can decrease it, but pretty much right now, since we have a white background, we're sitting pretty good. And this character's orange, so even when we get down here into the brown, we're going to be okay. So I'm just going to go around and I'm going to drag my lasso tool around. And you want to remember that what we're doing is we are creating the little images that we're going to use for our drag and drop exercise in Flash. This is going to be another one of those things that the user can pick. Options or games that the user can pick when they're working or when they are interacting with your project. So I'm just going to real quick go around him. And you're going to want to basically go in and do kind of a similar thing. You don't have to use the images from your book, but what I find really great is because, one, the images for these books in this case are really excellent quality, and it goes with the content. Because it's so easy for me to go through and extract these images, it's not going to take me a lot of time. I really like the quality of the artwork, so it's made good sense to use these images from the book. So we tend to do what's easiest, and in this case, I'm just doing it real quick. You want to watch your quality because you still want a good image. You still want it to be a good image to work with. I have two options now. I can come in here and make this a white background. Let me switch to my I want to come in and get my colors changed. Looks like I'm going to have to open that window, color window. I want to change my background color to white. I want to go ahead and do that. So what I've done here is change my background image. And I just want that. Okay. So if I come in here and I toggle the X so that it changes my background image. If I come in here and I say, okay, I want to copy this, I can go ahead and drop it in my Flash program. Remember, we're going to add a scene. So in this scene, let's go ahead and do it again. We're going to insert scene. We're in scene 4, and we'll go ahead and rename this to the drag and drop. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can go ahead and paste this in center. And what do you know? Here's my little monkey. Okay, that is from our Photoshop. I'm going to go ahead and make this, modify it, convert to symbol, and I'm going to make it a button, and I'm just going to say monkey because we're going to add button properties to it later. Well, actually what I should have done, I'm going to undo that. I'm going to make it a movie clip, convert to symbol. I'm going to make it a movie clip. I'm going to call it monkey. and then I'm going to double click on monkey, and now I'm going to make this a movie clip. I mean a button, sorry. We made it a movie clip already, now we just want to make it a button. Name's already taken, so we'll just say monkey 1. So, and we're going to keep doing this, working between our Photoshop here. Now, the other thing that I can do is I can Control X that. It'll take some cleanup here, so I'm just going to come in and erase this. I need a bigger eraser because I want to make short work of this. Remember, we're going to get rid of this text already that's in here. I'm just going to erase this, and I'm going to show you why. Because I can also use this image in my book. Once I take all of these out, and what I'm going to do is just show you real quick how to do this so we don't have to go in. And again, here I am. I'm easily getting rid of all this with the eraser because my eraser and my background is white. Okay, and that makes this really an easy project to work with. But I'm just going to come in and get rid of this. And the reason I picked this image out of the rainforest was once again because of the white background, and two, because the birds and everything are really vibrant, and it's going to be really simple for me to come in and clean this image up and fix the tree so that when I go in to create my drag and drop exercise, it's not going to take me a whole lot of work, and that's, you know, the idea is to have a really great interaction, and if we can save ourselves some time, why not? You know, let's don't if we can still have a professional looking result, why not? Don't try and reinvent the wheel if you don't have to. Okay, I'm going to come here, I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to click here, and notice I'm going to have to kind of come back and pick a little bit up here. Okay. Now, if you want a harder image, by all means, you know, change your brush size, go for that harder edged brush, because in this case it's going to give us the ability to really come in and clean this up. Now, we can go in and double this pattern. Okay. I'm going to kind of just go down here. And hopefully you're not going to really be able to tell too much what's going on here. These are some of those tricks of the trade that are so cool in Photoshop that just make this program unbelievable for use. I mean, it just really, really gives us such quality results. It's just amazing. So I'm going to zoom out here. Let's see. Let's view. Fit on screen. So we've fixed that right there. We go back in. We're going to want to do the same thing for the rest of this and kind of clean this up here. We want to make sure that we're not leaving any little specks and pieces behind. In fact, I can come in here and just kind of erase this and not worry about it too much, since I'm going to already be using my my tool, my transform tool. And notice I'm going to just grab this up here so that I am putting this pattern right here. And if it works, great. Remember, smudge is an option for us, so don't worry about it being absolutely perfect. So that's always a good option for us. And it's a little dark, so I'm not quite happy with that. But I'm going to be really close right here, so I'm just going to kind of come in and just go through and pick up what I can. And basically what we're going to do, and once we've gotten this where we want it, we can kind of go in. In fact, if we wanted to, we probably could have eliminated a branch or two, because it doesn't have to look exactly like the image, but what we do want is a good clean image that we can use. I'm going to try and make some short work of this now because I don't want to have to stay here all night. Okay, so remember, we're still repeating this pattern here and we're picking it up here, so we might want to go in and just kind of try and throw a monkey wrench in there and kind of get a different look to it. So the idea though is to build up what we have. So we just really want to get a good idea of what that will look like. And remember, we can grab all the way out here if we wanted to, to kind of break that up. And again, we're going to just try and build this this branch across, and we'll probably want to pick up some of that way too. So you kind of just have to guess and go, is that working for me? Maybe not so much, but remember that one of the things we can do is go in with our smudge tool and our eraser. And in this case, I can come in here and just kind of erase that. And the reason I want to be kind of particular about this is because this is our drag and drop exercise, and while we won't be able to see every mole or every bubble or every fraction, we kind of want it to look realistic. We kind of want to get an idea of giving it a look. So we can go back in and repeat this pattern down here further, or just kind of remember we can smudge this, and that might be even better for us because that's a lot of smudge. I don't know, I want to do that. So anyway, use your judgment when it comes to taking these and putting them out. Again, I'm going to come down here, I'm going to grab the butterfly, probably some birds, and use these in my drag and drop exercises in Flash. So that's what I want you to do. Grab those, put those images in Flash, and then we'll continue on in Flash when we've got everything we need. Okay, one of the things that I wanted to show you that I did was I clipped this snake out of the page that we were working with, along with that monkey that we did and a butterfly. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about though is when you bring this graphic in, one of the things that you want to do is you want to double click on this graphic so that it's no longer, because what's going to happen is it's going to come into your image as grouped. Okay, so when you click on it or when you work with it, it's going to be one big image. What you want to do is take it out, go to Modify, Bitmap, and when you have an image, let me go back and I'll clip it out. You want to trace this you want to trace bitmap and get rid of these pieces here, these white pieces that are surrounding this image, because one of the things that we want to do is we want to be working with this and allow whatever's underneath to show through. So we want to be able to go in and use this image. After you're all done grouping it, you want to select it again and then go to Modify, Group. Okay. So we click on Group. It's going to take a minute because we got a lot of programs working right now. So the image now is grouped. If we were to put let's say, I'm going to add another layer here, and I'm going to work in that layer. I'm going to just throw a circle down there. When I go to throw this image over that circle, let's see where to put it. Let's Control X, we're going to throw it in here, Control V. Notice when we move this image, okay, I'm going to put that under there. When I move this image over the snake, we can still see that through it. We know we got to go in and clean it up. There's no doubt about that. But at least now when we go and we move this image around, we can see what's under it. Otherwise, what would have happened is all of the white around here, when we went to copy and paste it into this, would have precluded us, or it would have covered whatever we were sitting over. So if we were going to put this in a tree, or if we were going to put this on the ground and we wanted the ground to be seen under it, what would have happened is there would have been a white line right here. So we want to, again, when you bring this in, let me go in here and let me see if I can clip something real quick. We'll see if we can get this frog out of here. We'll just clip that real quick. Go around this whole little thing. And again, I'm just going to do a real quick job because I want to show you what I'm talking about when we talk about working with these images. Okay, so there's our image. I'm going to hit Control C, which means it's going to copy everything in there. I'm going to bring it over here. Okay. I'm going to put it on this layer and I'm going to edit, paste in center. Here's my image. Okay. I want to go ahead and notice my bitmap options aren't available to me because it's still grouped, so I'm going to click on it. When I get this gray line around it, it's treating it like a bitmap now. So I'm working now actually in the image. So go to bitmap. I want to trace bitmap, because swap bitmap means you're going to just switch one image for another. We're going to have a color threshold of 25, minimum area of pixels 5. I'm going to hit OK. It's going to stall out right here for a little bit, but you can see that it's done. And see all these gray areas? This is what got brought over into our image. It just created a box, whereas where what we did is clipped it here. In this, what it does is it makes a bounding box. It puts a bounding box around it. So now what we're going to do is we click off of it, we click back into it, I hit delete, I hit delete up here, and I'm going to hit delete here and select all that. So now all I have is this image. I have the frog and the leaf. I'm going to come back in here, select it. I'm going to make sure I group it because I want to group it to keep everything together. So now it can't be messed with. I can't accidentally, inadvertently pull something, because watch what happens if I don't do that. I ungrouped it. And now if I come in here, I can manipulate this image, and I really don't want to do that. You know, I don't want to be pulling anything out of here. See the green little threads right there? I really don't want to be doing any of that, okay? I don't want to have to be playing babysitter for this image when I can just go in and reselect everything. Okay, so I want to make sure, again, I'm just going to go back in, I'm going to group all of this. It's going to take a minute to select, modify, group. Okay, I'm going to go out, I'm going to go here, I'm going to modify this, convert to symbol. We're going to make this a movie clip, remember? We call it, it's called symbol 1, but I can go in here and change the name. I'm just going to name it frog. I'm going to double click it again because inside here I want to modify this and make it a button. Okay. Okay, so now I'm in the frog. I'm going to get out of the frog. I'm going to select the snake. I don't want these to be grouped that way, so I'm going to have to break these apart. Ungroup them, because what ended up happening is it treated it like a group and it shouldn't have. There's my snake. I'm going to make this a snake. Convert to symbol, movie clip, snake. And the reason we're treating this as a movie clip first, because we want to work with the snake image inside as the button. Okay, we're going to make the button inside the image, and it's going to, because we're going to put the properties of the drag and drop on the button itself. Okay, because the properties are on release, but we don't want to have to deal with the image having to take on a new property yet. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so now that I've done this, I'm going to go ahead and I want to go in and put the properties on this. You'll notice now I can lay this, and you'll see that the snake, because the snake is on layer 1, and I'll just change this to snake. we should have a background layer here, and you can draw a background layer in here, you can do whatever you want. But what we have now is you see the snake over the frog, and we can actually make this so that the snake is looking at the frog and he's going to eat the frog. Okay? I'm going to get rid of this because we really don't need this. It's served its purpose. By the way, this is on the main page. Remember, we had put together, inserted a scene before, and I want to go ahead and do that. I'm going to delete these because I have them here in my library. Here's snake, and then here's frog. I'm just going to go ahead and dump those because this is my main page, but I want to be working in a new scene. I'm going to open my scene window, and I'm going to rename this one Drag and Drop. Drag and drop or drag drop. Hit OK. Now I'm working in the drag and drop area. Let's go show all. So what that means is, let's do this. Fit in window. So this is our window right now. This is our staging area. Again, remember we can look. We can play with any of this stuff here that we want, but I want you to realize that we're basically putting together the background is what's needed next in our little Flash movie here. Okay, so one of the things I did was I went in and copied an image from my book that I'm going to use. I want you to realize that when we're using these as bitmaps, and again this is grouped, and I'm going to show you what a problem you might encounter. I'm going to break this, I'm going to trace this bitmap, and the reason I want to trace the bitmap is because once it traces the bitmap, it is no longer a bitmap, it's a vector image, so that it can be resized and played with a lot easier than if it were a bitmap. Because a bitmap, as you know, are little pixels that make up the image. Well, vector image is all math. It's all lines and numbers. And we have a line from point A to point B. It's X amount of line thickness, length, things like that. And so it's not pixels. It's only vector. When I make this vector image, I can make it as big or as small as I want, and it will keep its quality. Of course, we have to start off with a good quality image, and then we have to do some playing around with our trace bitmaps. We can have more pixels. We can have fewer pixels, we can have more image variation, color variation, things like that. This is a large image. It's going to take a little while to work, but believe me, you want to do that. When we did the monkey, we did that. When we did the snake and the frog, remember, we changed them and converted them to vector images. So the larger they get, the better the quality. It's not going to, the larger they get, the quality doesn't matter because it's now a vector image. It's no longer a bitmap, so we want to remember that. I also have picked this image because I'm going to go off to the side here and put my drag and drop pieces, which I'll be able to put on the background here. So I'll be able to actually go in and drag those images and drop them anywhere on the scene. And that's one of the things you want to give your, this is very common in games now. It's very common in children's, especially young children's. That's how they learn to manipulate the mouse. They click and drag. Those are kind of those click and drag easy exercises. So once our bitmap's traced and put on the stage, we're going to come back and actually go ahead and program our monkey. We'll talk about, you'll notice it's grouped right here. We'll talk about our monkey and our snake and our frog and how they were grouped, and we clicked on them when they were grouped, and we made the movie clip, and then we clicked on them again and we made them a button. So now we have 3 layers. We have a group layer, a movie layer, and a button layer. So think of those all on top of each other, as if you folded a piece of paper and you had all the pieces on top of each other. We're going to ungroup it because we don't need the grouping portion of this once we've turned it into the movie and the button. But we do want the button nested in the movie. So as soon as this is done, we'll come back and fix that.